What's up, guys? So I thought I'd make a video basically talking about the hardware side of my 75-gallon build. And I discussed the livestock, the corals, the fish, the inverts, but I really haven't gone into too much detail about the actual equipment I'll be running on the system. And so basically I wanted to talk about that a bit and talk about some things I was thinking about buying that I want to get your opinion on, and just to make sure I know what I'm buying and everything like that. So yeah, let's start out with the lighting. Lighting, more than likely, I will be going with the with an LED light fixture. Now, as for the actual brand, I'm not sure. I've looked into, of course, the Marineland Reef Capable System LED fixture, but more and more I realize that that is definitely not going to be able to. It's definitely not going to be able to keep the corals and anemones and everything like that that I'm planning on keeping alive. And even people, I've heard various bad reviews on that actual fixture. And of course, even the people that are happy with the fixture, I still notice that their corals, if they have videos of it, the corals are usually more brown and shrunken and everything like that and don't look very healthy. So I'm definitely not going to be going with the Marineland Reef Capable LED. Now, I've looked into various LED fixtures out there, and there are a lot, and most of them are fairly expensive. Now, one thing I'm really considering doing is by Eco Exotic. They have these, probably one of their best, the things that are most known for are their LEDs. The LED fixtures, besides their Vortec pumps, would be the LEDs, and most of their LEDs are fairly expensive as well. But they have these things called Panorama Pros. They are small LED modules, and they come in a whole bunch of different colors. And so they have a huge variety, and they're highly customizable, and you can hook them together, and really very, very bright from what I've seen in real life and on videos and everything. So what I'm actually thinking about doing is buying maybe 5 or 6 of them, 5 or 6 of the modules, and probably a couple blues, mostly white, and then maybe even some royal blues or magentas. I want it to be blue, just not too blue. I want to. The thing is with me, I like bluish tanks, but I don't like it to where everything in the tank looks blue. I want to be able to see the actual color of the fish and the corals and the anemone and the inverts and everything. So I really want to make sure the light fixture is not going to be too blue, so I will have mostly white. But of course, this is just a plan. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to go with this. So if you have any opinion on this, on my plan here, please leave it in the comment section below. I would really appreciate that. Also, another reason I would like to go with the Panorama Pro modules, each module is only $100. So, sure, that'll be $500 to $600 in the long run, but I feel like it'll be a lot easier for me to keep adding on, keep buying $100 modules here and there than just forking over $600 right there on the spot. I feel like it's going to be a lot more easier for me to do that that way. But of course, this may not work out. If you do not think this is going to work out, of course, please tell me. But yeah. Now, of course, I went with LEDs for a couple reasons. Mainly, I love bulb life, of course. Their bulbs have a ridiculously long lifespan. Some can last like 7 to 10 years, and that is crazy. I really like that, because I'm definitely not going to want to be able to be changing bulbs every 6 to 12 months, and it's going to save me a lot of money in the long run. Also, of course, it doesn't emit very much heat, which I love, because this tank tends to stay fairly warm, and my whole house tends to stay pretty darn warm. And I definitely wanted a light that is not going to produce very much heat for that reason, because I don't want to, of course, cook my tank here. I wanted to have very, very cool lights, and without having to buy all the extra stuff like fans and chillers and everything. So the LEDs really seem to fit the bill with me, and also electricity is going to cost a bit less to actually run the lights as far as electricity goes. But yeah, that's the light system. Of course, that's just a plan. May change in the future. I'm not sure, but yeah. Now let's talk about filtration. Filtration, obviously, most of you have seen my sump. I got the sump from my local fish store. It's custom made there, and I really like the sump. It's pretty large. I don't know exactly the amount of gallons it can hold. I'd probably say around 20 gallons, 25 gallons, something like that. So a decent sized sump. And of course, it's not going to be filled to the top all the time either. So now, of course, if you have a sump, you're going to need some sort of overflow, so it'll, the water from your tank can flow into the sump. And then, of course, I need a return pump to return the water from the sump back up into the tank, and so on and so forth. I was looking into all the different overflow boxes, and they really don't have very many, and they don't have a very large variety. They have the YouTube style overflow boxes for hang-on back overflow boxes, and then they have the continuous siphon overflow boxes, which actually have a pump, an air pump that is actually siphoning water out of the tank manually. Now, I really like the idea of that. I really thought, okay, well, that seems more reliable. It costs a bit more, so it must be better, everything like that. After reading quite a bit online and talking to a lot of people and just looking into a lot of things, I'm definitely would say the YouTube style overflow boxes are definitely more reliable, and so I definitely like that. I would, of course, I would never want to come home to find a flood on my floor, or electrical problems and everything like that. So that's a huge deal breaker. Of course, I do not want a flood. No one wants a flood. So that was a huge thing for me when I was looking into overflow boxes. And of course, it's gonna be one less piece of equipment that I'm gonna have to worry about. And yeah, so I will be going with the YouTube overflow boxes by what's it called? eShops. That's it. From drfosterandsmithaquatics.com. I will be ordering that. Now, as far as the return pump, I will be most likely going with the Supreme Classic utility pumps, I believe it's called, or Supreme Classic return pumps. I'm not sure, but New York Stilo runs, I believe, 2 of those on his tank, on his 90-gallon, and he loves them and he recommends them, so I'm going to trust his opinion, and I'm going to go out and buy one of those. Of course, they're a little bit more expensive, but they seem to be a lot more reliable, a lot more sturdy, long-lived, everything like that, everything you'd look for in a pump of any kind. Of course, power heads. I have, for those of you who don't know already, I have two Coral Eyes, one Evolution and one Magnum in that tank that I'll be using to move the water around. Now also I'll be getting 75 pounds of Haitian live rock from my local fish store, and I have, I believe, 170 pounds, I believe, of sand that I'll be putting in that tank. I have 1 bag of Nature's Ocean live sand that I'll be seeding the dead sand with. And by the way, in this tank I run completely dead sand, so which has become live from the live rock. This is the brand of sand I'm using, Caribbean Aragonite sand, and it's worked great, not cloudy at all, as you can see. And I really seem to like it, and I think it'll do great in that 75-gallon. But yeah, now also the refugium. I was talking about doing a bunch of whole crazy things like modifying the sump and adding a little refugium and transforming the hang-on back filter into a refugium and things of the sort. Well, I've realized that I feel like that's going to be, in my opinion, a lot of work towards something that may not even be very effective in the long run. So what I did was I went to PetSmart and picked up a 20-inch, 10-gallon glass aquarium that I will be using